Well, as COVID cases continue to increase in Gauteng, there are still questions on whether lockdown regulations will need to change. The restaurant, hospitality and tourism sectors face the most challenges when stricter lockdown regulations are implemented. Ahmed Kajee is in the Maboneng precinct in Johannesburg, and he joins us now for a sense of what is happening there. So from what you see and from people that you have spoken to, should there be a vaccine mandate in this country? Just what will it mean for that industry particularly?
It's mixed sentiments over here at the Maboneng precinct in the centre of Johannesburg. There is a mixed reaction from many of the public over here as well. But a big part of what we have seen over the last 18 months in this specific area is around the protocols around Covid-19, specifically around non-pharmaceutical interventions. So we are speaking around mask wearing, social distancing, as well as hand sanitizing when entering and when leaving any restaurants or any buildings or public spaces in and around this region. We normally would know that in an area like this, it's a hub of activity, especially in working from your Thursday evenings right through until your Sunday late afternoon or so, in and around this time as well. In the streets of Maboneng precinct, it is relatively busy, perhaps relatively not as busy as you normally would find a Saturday afternoon heading into the Saturday evening, and with it obviously being quieter around this time of the year, many people obviously already leaving for the holiday period as well. In terms of the vaccine mandate, that isn't being implemented at any restaurants or anyone in the sector, at least at the moment. Cholas Nglesi obviously mentioning that this is something that may be imminent, but when it comes through to restaurants and private institutions, we haven't heard a whiff of anything like that as well. But when it comes through to restaurants, bringing it back to the protocols, given the fact that cases are increasing, we are now joined by the manager of the Ravioli restaurant here in the Maboneng precinct, Melissa Adams. Melissa, thanks very much for your time. With cases increasing, how are we looking at in terms of some of the protocols which you are running?
We're getting a really bit nervous because obviously the past few months we've taken a knock, and people are really scared of going out or spending money. So everybody is anxious to find out what the president has to say. We're trying to lift up the people's spirits, the staff spirits, but you can see everybody's anxious. People are really not coming forth. They're scared.
Over the last 2 weeks or so, what has business been like since the official start of the fourth wave in Gauteng?
Business has been not as good, hey? I must be honest, it hasn't been as good. We still get our loyal customers coming through. We're lucky for that. But you can see that the trend, instead of people coming in 2 times, 3 times, they're coming once, or even ordering takeaways. So people are trying to save money because they don't know what is going to happen.
When I think inevitably once a presidential address does take place, what are you hoping for, especially seeing as it will impact your restaurant significantly over the next 2 to 3 weeks heading into the new year?
I'm hoping at least if the hours can be cut, and I'm hoping that we don't get a complete shutdown, because that will be a very big knock for the restaurant industry. At least if the hours are reduced, and I think we as restaurants will survive. We'll survive. It will be tough, but we will survive. But if we do a total close down, that I don't know if we can ever recover from that.
We saw alcohol shut down in December last year. Do you think we may have something like that? And if so, what impact will that have?
You know what? I know that people get a little bit excited when alcohol is there, and when there is a cut, there is a little bit of discipline. We will get a knock, but if the food is open, I don't think it will be that bad.
Melissa, thanks very much for your time this afternoon. So there you see from a managerial perspective, when it comes through to restaurants, it seems that there is an expectancy or an expectation that there may perhaps be a lockdown or change in lockdown regulations, but there is a sincere hope that there may not be a cut in alcohol. And if there is meant to be any change in regulations, it should perhaps be around time. But a complete shutdown, or at least a complete lockdown of what we had seen over the last 18 months, that is something that may not be welcomed from residents and perhaps shop owners and restaurant owners in the Maboneng precinct.
It's lunchtime and you can barely hear the plates clicking or the toasting happening in terms of glasses. So it really gives you a sense of what people are going through at the moment. Thank you very much, Ahmed Kajee. Do stay